ahead of the spread as well. So we thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us on our show today. We appreciate it. I think on YouTube for 8 seconds, 10 seconds now. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us as well from the YouTube platform. So we have to do the tweaking from this. You've been with us, you've been giving us the support. Even if you are going to be watching this show at a later stage, because they will be there, especially on the YouTube channel. So you can please put in your comment there, put in your likes, put in what you really like about our show. Is it giving you the value that we want? My name is Lizo Mknebe, and I help engineering executives to make sure that they realize the productivity they will have once they use their they can only do this once they understand the life cycle of the business that they are running, the life cycle of an NPO that they are running, the life cycle of an equipment that they are running. If they are a maintenance manager, especially if they are executive in the engineering sector, they need to understand the life cycle of every equipment that is under their jurisdiction as well. So with that being said, I'd like to take it today and then say, sometimes in life you have to decide that the buck stops with you or you're giving the bait to someone. So, when you're running a relay race is where you have a bait that you need to pass to a second runner that is somewhere in the middle. If you're running 800 meters, you might decide that every 200 meters I have 0 to 800 meters, or you'll be passing it like in a relay. So the responsibility, when you say the buck must stop with you, the responsibility at all times. So when you decide that the buck stops with you, it means you are not passing that responsibility. You are not running a relay marathon. You are running a straight marathon. You are running to Durban, or you are running that is an uphill, or you are running downhill from Durban to Maritzburg. That is what you've decided. You are taking 110 kilometers. You are running the 110 kilometers race. You are on your own. You do not pass the bait. It is all upon your shoulders to make sure that you finish the task. It is upon your shoulders to make sure that you exercise the prior month in order for you to attain it. So in everything that you do, you must make sure that the buck must stop with you. You must make sure that you take responsibility for everything that you are doing. So it is upon your shoulders to make sure that you achieve what you want to achieve. And then no matter what, there are other people that are going to be sacrificed. There are other people that are going to be thrown under the bus. There are other things that will happen to other people that are standing in your way. But you have to do it the proper way. You have to do it, use your doing. Is it justifiable or it is not? I have people, casualties that I've had as well in my career. Whoever you're doing this to, or you're doing this, taking your strength, you're taking everything up your shoulders to make sure that that we protect the loved ones. It is imperative that in our industry we protect people that we are saving, especially at the end of the day, the products that we are producing, or the product that we are using to produce whatever process we are running at the end. But we need to know that, like I said, casualties will be, you'll have casualties, you'll have enemies that you're forming in your way around you achieving your goal. So it is up to you whether you want to serve people as a follower, or you want to take responsibility and then be responsible and lead the proper way. Because in the engineering industry, it is very important that you must have ethics. Do you have ethics? If you do not have ethics, then engineering is not for you. Engineers needs to have good ethics. In one of our WhatsApp group that we are sharing with the friends, especially the alumni from the then former university RAU, or Rans Afrikaanse University, discussing the case of VBS heist, what has happened, who has been incarcerated in that case. And some of the guys, there's a gentleman there that is forming the part of our alumni from Raukis. So he was one of the guy that is been taken to prison, or he was incarcerated because of his involvement in the VBS saga and the case as well in that regard. It does not matter where you come from. If you do not have ethics, it's not a legal office where they teach you about the law of contracts, law of law of respecting others, law of abiding. Nobody can come and shift that and say this is what we want to do in order for us to change. You can attend a lot of seminars, but if you have got no ethics, you have got no ethics. So it is in you, it is in your blood, it is instilled in your system that in order for you to go and then follow suit, you are always going to follow suit by going to use a shortcut. I always tell people that shortcuts, they are good, but they work for a small period of time, and then you're still left with the headache at the end of taking that shortcut. What is the proper way? The proper way is to do things and then have perseverance, take your time, do your due diligence, and then you'll never have headaches where you have to attend court and you have to answer questions that you are not involved in, or you have knew that you are involved in those things, and then you use your power to your advantage, use your power to fool innocent people, innocent lives, because whatever product you'll be putting out there, it will be impacting on those people. You provide the things that were done ethically, things that were done properly, things that were done in accordance with the law, that we read the law that we've seen. The National Coronavirus Command Council is using it in terms of interpolating and interpreting the laws of other countries in order for them to curb the spread of the COVID-19. So that is what we want to do. We want to follow suit, because when you follow suit, the law in terms of ethics, you'll be called upon one day to say you must come and serve in a certain committee, because we see that you are a man of cloth, you are a man of cloth in terms of the oath that we have taken. Once you graduate, you are putting in a gown, you are taking that gown is not just, you do not just put that gown in your shoulders. You put that gown like a judge, you put that gown like a lawyer that stand and then take an oath that in order for me to be able to serve my niche market, I take responsibility that today I'll abide by the law and help me God. That is what you do. You're taking the oath to say you'll go and serve the communities with truth and nothing else but the truth. When you wear that gown, you see people, they take this gown and then they say, no, I'm just graduating. You are not just graduating. You are graduating and then you are taking an oath to go and serve the community. I didn't want to go to this story, but let me elaborate. There's a lady that I've been following, and I've followed this lady on Facebook for, I think now is 12 years now. So literally that is, it's 12 years I've been following her. She has come from thick and thin. She has been, people have talked a lot about her. Whereas she was a director or a CEO in one of the department of one of the critical department in terms of the arts. It was put under the bus by her seniors. But the nice thing about this lady made sure that she talks the truth. She talks truth to power. And then you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed what has happened to that lady. That lady had today came back into the system that she was taken out of. System. That lady was at the brink of what we call depression, but she managed to pull herself up for the sake of her kids, for the sake of the career. And then during the hard time when she was still under the bus, she decided to do a master's. And then she told the truth into power during the Facebook. She will elaborate how her story happened. So I kept on following her. How did she get that misfortune that happened to her? And then her struggles as well, because we've got struggles. So remember, when someone decides to put you under the bus, that person is only looking for her her own corner, not your corner. Whether you are struggling to pay your bond, whether you are struggling to take your kids to school, whether you are struggling. So this lady brought this the stresses that she was having as well during the initial stage of this thing when she was thrown under a bus because of a lie that was portrayed about her. She told truth to power, told truth to power. 5 years from that, the lady was put in another critical department in Gauteng, and then the Gauteng legislation, the Gauteng, in the Gauteng in one of the MEC's department, and she was running with that. She was an HOD in that. And then now you'll never believe she was just appointed, I think, in February into a director, one of the critical ministry public services in South Africa. So when you talk truth to power, when you take responsibility for your life, take responsibility for telling the truth to people, the truth will prevail. And then you look at whatever was destined for you, you'll still get it. So there are stories that encourage us. You see, I always say when we meet people, we don't just meet people. We meet people to learn from them. We meet people in order for us to have lessons learned. We are meeting COVID-19 today because we have a lesson that we need to learn from COVID-19. If someone can tell me that they have not learned anything from COVID-19, then I'll be amazed. I'll be puzzled. Why? Because COVID-19 has already brought a lot of things to the fore. And you do not have to have a bachelor's degree or a diploma or an N6 in order for you to see that COVID-19 has already brought a lot of things to the fore. So they are here. We are the ones that need to take the responsibility to make sure that some of the things that COVID-19 has brought to the fore, we take action, we implement them. So in your life, whatever situation you are in, you need to take responsibility to change that situation. If you are in a situation where you are saying to start a business is a problem, or to start a business is like climbing the Mount Kilimanjaro, then you have to take that responsibility to climb that Mount Kilimanjaro and see when you get, or to climb that Mount Everest, to see that when you get at the top of Mount Everest, you'll have achieved, or how much success you'll have achieved when you reach there. So it's imperative that we take responsibility, because the situation we are in right now, we might be in the situation where we are because of our own doing, because of our own inactability. We didn't act. I always give people the platform to say, you see, when you look at your life in 3 years' time, in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, where will it be? Gary Vee, in one of the episodes that I consume a lot from him, from his YouTube channel yesterday, mentioned whatever he's been mentioning. What you say, I can be here teaching you, giving you value, but if you are not actioning what I'm giving to you, that is like you are not. That is like water flowing from this ear out of that ear. There's no capturing system in your eardrums in terms of this information that you're consuming. So you need to have information that you're consuming. At least if 100% comes this side, at least what must go out, it must be at least 2%. But the rest of the 98% must be consumed and actionable as well. Because we are portraying our own beliefs due to our action. So if we believe that we are successful, we will be successful, but that will only be shown by what? By our action. That will be shown by the things that we do, that we are willing to change our situation. So are you willing to change your situation? If you are willing to change your situation, you must take the responsibility to lead. You must take the responsibility not to become the follower. Because remember, followers are fooled. Followers can be fooled by leaders. So I encourage you to become the leader. I encourage you to lead people with good ethics. I encourage you to take responsibility to make sure that your community that you are living in is upheld at the highest position in terms of ethics. when you appear, people must know that this gentleman stand for the truth. This lady stand for the truth, because this is what she has stood for, or these are the people that she managed to stood against. These are the people that were influential, and these are the people that we know they are corrupt, but this person has been able to stand up to these people. Are you that leader? Can you take the responsibility to take a different road than the road of many? Yes, people will do illicit dealings, people will do a lot of things that they want to do, but are you saying I am against it based on my based on my beliefs, based on what I've been taught? Because remember, once you fall into a trap of being a corrupted one, you will encourage people to do it. So do you want to live in that society? We don't. Again, say to you, when you go out of our respective areas, when we go out in terms of our disciplines, when we go out, let us tell the truth. Let us take a responsibility to be the truth tellers. Let us take the responsibility to show the people how they must lead, how
it's 5 hours.
Irrespective of what. So religion is there to provide for the truth, but religion must not be used for people to say we are all Christians. We can be the people that I teach in Asia, the people that I teach in all over the world, they are following a different religion. So they believe that the truth shall set you free. In whatever aspect, we believe that religion abides us in terms of telling the truth. But let us not exploit our religion and do things and start using religion. Religion guides you. So hence, I don't want to discuss a lot about religion, because there's someone that has used a religion against me, and then, but there's something that we are doing with those people. So I think our case will be heard. But what you stand for that will set you free. Are you standing for the truth? Are you responsible for telling the truth? Because once you portray that, you are portraying a person that is deep down you. So with today's episode, that is what I wanted to do, and that is what I wanted to share for today. And ladies and gentlemen, let us always abide by our government regulation in terms of COVID-19. Let us make sure that whatever we do, whatever, I'm responsible for my future, I'm responsible for my life, I'm responsible for my livelihood, I'm responsible for my family, for whatever things that I do, especially when I take executives, when I take engineering executive into my cover, they get there. I didn't serve my responsibility. So I'm responsible to make sure that they attain the goals that they set for themselves. So it is up to you to make sure that as well for your fraternity, you take the responsibility, you lead with responsibility, and then you get them to get what you've promised them. Because at the end, the buck must stop with you. From me, YouTube, we want to say, let the buck stop with us, because we are responsible. Thank you very much, and then God bless.